Welcome back. I hope that you are practicing what I've discussed in the earlier videos, that you're going through the sequence of centering and grounding, clearing your energy field, and connecting to divine energy. Remember, done in a sequence is how it's most effective, and daily. This is your daily spiritual practice to do that every day. You will not know if it is helping you until you have had consistency with it, until you are doing it each day, ideally in the morning. And then, of course, you can break it up into little pieces throughout the day as you need to, but have a full run of it in the morning, preferably, or a full run of it later if you can't get it done in the morning. But the idea is this is a daily practice. This is something that with commitment and consistency will connect you more deeply to your spirit, will support you in ways that are really difficult to explain because they are unique to you. But it will have you in your daily experience feeling as though you can handle anything, feeling as though things aren't such a big deal all the time, feeling as though you're able to manage things that come at you at rapid fire pace sometimes with more ease, with more grace, with deeper understanding, deeper connection. So today what we're talking about is various practices that you can use in addition to your foundational practice, which was the previous video, the grounding, the connecting, the clearing, and the connecting. This is going to be some fun things that you can play around with, that you can just infuse into your week, into your day, lots of different practices. Because remember that with a boot camp, you do lots of exercises, right? There's all these small muscle groups that you're working on and large muscle groups that you're working on. And that is the idea here as well with the spiritual boot camp. I'm going to give you a lot of ideas, a lot of things to get you pumped up and ready to work out with your spirit so that you have a lot of things in your toolbox and you can just pull them out as you want to, play around with these. So this is a fun video that's designed to expose you to some new things that you might not have heard of before, or to deepen what you're already doing in other ways. So the first thing we'll talk about is using card decks. Decks of cards, not your poker playing cards, but decks of cards, spiritual cards, to use when you have a question about something, or you just kind of want to hear guidance for yourself. I know it sounds nutty, but when you use cards to guide you, and the randomness, as we call it, we just randomly pick a card. Well, I don't believe in random. But there's purpose always behind our random behaviors or behind things that randomly happen to us. And what's really magical about card decks is that whatever you pick is for good reason. Whatever you pull for that particular day, whether it is based on a question that you ask or a wondering that you have, or even just going totally open with it, is exactly what you needed to hear or read or see or focus on for that day. So I happen to be a bit of a card junkie, so you will see that I have many decks. This one, highly recommended, the Kuan Yin Oracle. Love it. It is Blessings, Guidance, and Enlightenment from the Divine Feminine. These cards also, Sacred Rebels. This is Guidance for Living a Unique and Authentic Life. I have this brand new deck. It's the Rumi Oracle. I love Rumi's writings. And it says, an invitation into the heart of the divine. Got these. These are great little everyday cards by Sonia Choquette. These are called Trust Your Vibes. This is a good deck for your first deck of cards. It gives you some real quick, easy things that everybody can relate to. And the first three decks that I showed you are all by the same designer, same author, Alana Fairchild. And they are really good for when you want to go a little bit deeper. So here's the idea. Oh, I have to show you the rest of mine, actually. I also have magical messages from the fairies. Totally sweet. I bought this deck actually for my kids, and we have pulled cards from this deck quite a few times. I also have another one by Sonia Choquette. The Answer is Simple. Very good deck when you have a question, when you have a specific question, it guides you back to your spirit. It guides you back to your inner knowing. Then I have, I told you I'm a junkie. Then I have Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. If you enjoyed his writing, his book A New Earth, or any of his writings, this is a wonderful deck of cards. And finally, Abraham teachings. I am always a big fan of Abraham Hicks and listen to those YouTube sound bites as often as I can. So these teachings are kind of the Esther and Jerry Hicks, they're the channelings that they do, the Abraham entity that comes through them is a good card deck for those if you are enjoying those. I'm just going to pick one deck here, or maybe I'll pick two. It's hard for me to narrow it down. But we'll go with this one for right now. The answer is simple, just so I can show you different ways to use your deck of cards. So as I mentioned, you can come to this card deck with a particular question. It can be anything from something personal to you, or something specific to a family member or a loved one that you're wondering about. And any question that you have is fair game. You can ask anything you want to. For today's purposes, what I might do is ask a question: how can I support my daughter in the best way given what she is experiencing right now in her life? So that's my question. And each deck comes with a booklet that explains the card that you got. And of course, the deck of cards. So what you would do, what I do, is I either spread them out on a table, just kind of fan them. So you can, basically, you're having them face up so you don't see what the artwork is or what the message is on the other side. They all look the same. You just fan them out and you see where you're guided to choose. You see which card your hand is drawn to or your eyes are drawn to, and trust that and just pull the card. Nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes when my kids really get into the cards, they will spread them all out on the carpet so that each card has its own specific spot. So we sometimes take up an entire rug just with cards laid out, but they like to do that because then they can see all of them and really give a lot of room and space to which one is calling to them. So based on my question, I'm just going to close my eyes. You do not have to do that. And pull this card. So this card, based on my question about my daughter, says accept love. So I would go to the book and I would go, the cards generally have a number on them right at the top. This one is number 39. So I would go to the card numbered 39 description, and it further explains the card that I got. It says, as a divine child of the universe, your creator fully loves your Holy Spirit. Moreover, your spirit is pleasing to God and to those around you. Your ego doubts this truth. It whispers into your ear that you aren't good enough, smart enough, attractive enough, or accomplished enough to be genuinely loved. This is a lie which you must fight. You are infinite light in the learning curve of the human experience. Your creator knows you only to be beautiful, divine, infinite light, and loves you without condition. Ask yourself, where am I not feeling love? Where am I rejecting it? What is my ego saying that would make me feel so inadequate? What shadows are dimming the light of love coming toward me? Ask your spirit to shed its brilliant illumination onto these dark and fearful thoughts. Breathe in and accept the light and love your Creator has for you. Let it chase the shadows of self-doubt and judgment away. So you can see that's actually probably perfect, not probably, that is perfect for my daughter. So I would read that to her, and I might change some of the wording so that it's more understandable for a child, but the languaging in this particular deck is really good for kids, for adults, for everybody, for people who are new to doing cards. And if you want to go a little deeper with them, as I said, those by Alana Fairchild I'm a big fan of as well, but the truth is there are hundreds of decks of cards, maybe not hundreds, but just kind of go on Amazon, read the reviews, see what it is that you're looking for, what aligns with your belief system, because you do want to get a deck of cards that doesn't feel hokey to you, that resonates for you, but that also offers you a deeper understanding of things, a different perspective than what you're looking at. So that's one of my favorite things to do to connect to my spirit instantly, is picking a card every single time. I am amazed that what I got either is so perfect for that exact second that I picked it, or there are times when I pull a card and I think, I think I pulled the wrong one. This one doesn't really resonate with me. This one isn't true for me. If I lay it down and I go about my day, no doubt that by the end of the day, I am thanking that card, because that is exactly what unfolded, or that is exactly what I needed to hear and what I needed to sort of focus on. So I'm interested to hear how you enjoy doing cards. Let's see my notes here and see if I'm missing anything. Cards are also really great for transitional times. Aren't we always in a transitional time? But if you're in a time in your life where you're changing jobs, or you're moving, or there's some family dynamics that are shifting and changing, and with children, of course, they always are, this is a really good use of the cards as well, because it helps us to stay grounded. It helps give us a focus, a vantage point to kind of focus on. And as I mentioned, sometimes I don't ask any question at all of the cards. I just say, what do I need to hear today? Or I just pick one out and I read it, and I kind of have the delight of what that will be. Another tool that is really helpful is journaling. Free writing, I call it. Many times when I'm channeling for clients, their guides guide them in the direction of writing. And it's different for every person, because sometimes the writing is specific that's being channeled for them to do. But what I'm going to tell you is that getting a journal, unlined paper, or maybe you like lined paper, either one, but open pages, not a lot of artwork inside of it, because this really is designed for your flow. And sometimes when we see pictures or art, it kind of directs our energy in a certain way. But get a new journal, get a beautiful pen that writes beautifully. Go ahead and invest in something that's more than 89 cents. It just sets the tone for beautiful energy and experience with your spirit. And sit with your journal and see what comes through. You can guide yourself with questions if you want, similar to the cards, but now instead of pulling something and looking at it, you are going within. So you could ask the same question that I gave as an example. What do I need to do or know to support my daughter in this time in her life right now? Breathe a couple times, open your journal, have your pen ready, and see what comes through. Because writing is a form of channeling. Your spirit can bring through very specific, beautiful guidance for you through writing. And it's not for you to edit, and it's not for you to question. Just go with it. I know those of us who are sticklers for proper language and grammar and punctuation, not with free writing. With free writing, you just flow. See what flows. And the first couple or few times you do it, maybe you won't get a flow, and that's okay. But if you sit with your journal each time you sit down to it, maybe it's a few times a week, maybe it's each day, maybe it's a couple times a week, or maybe it's just once a week. As you sit with it and you trust that guidance will come through, and that writing is one way that you are inviting and welcoming it, it will. You will see it will. And you will notice perhaps that the words that are being used don't necessarily sound like your own, which is quite magical. Or the guidance that you're receiving, although you may know that already on some level, it's different when you read it, when you see that is coming through in your own writing, and you can use that to support you. So as you flow, do not edit what's coming through, just allow it. You can go back and look at it later, but without judgment. When you're done with that free writing exercise, whether you started it with a particular question or just been completely open, say thank you for this time with my spirit, even if nothing came through. This piece is really important. The gratitude piece of being in your spirit and welcoming it and then thanking it for its presence with you is really very powerful. When you do sit down with your journal, make sure you're not rushed. So this is not an exercise that you can squeeze into a really busy day, nor should you. Allow yourself at least 15, 20 minutes, upwards of 30 minutes to get into that flow. Because sometimes, for those of you writers out there, that's how long it can take us to receive, to release what is plaguing our minds, and to just be present and allow the flow to come through. Some questions you can ask when you are doing your free writing. What do I need to know right now that would serve the highest good for me or for somebody else? This is another one. What one person shall I connect with today or this week or this month who is designed to or is prepared, is equipped to support me on my path, or who needs my support? And really feel that and write that, whatever comes through. You can get really specific or you can go very general. Okay, that's journaling. Next thing we'll talk about is using affirmation as a tool to connect to your spirit. Affirmations are basically things that you say aloud or to yourself that honor the truth about you, even if you're not feeling that that is the truth about you in that moment. These are things that you say to create that truth. So if I'm feeling down on myself or low energy or just kind of blah, my affirmation might be, I am a being of endless energy. I have limitless energy for all of the tasks in my life. I am constantly infused with energy of divine love and earth connection and love for my fellow humans, for the animal kingdom, for the plant kingdom. I have energy for everything that I do. Those are affirmations that, when stated, actually start to create that reality that I'm seeking. So if you're in a position where you're starting a new business, say, and you have doubts, as anybody does when starting something new, your affirmations could reflect what you are seeking. So I am an amazing creator. I am a co-creator with Divine for the most amazing business. The ideas flow to me freely and endlessly. I only have to be open to receive. I am capable of anything I set my sights on, and that which I need for support flows to me without hesitation. Things like that. Those are some ideas for affirmations. Create your affirmations based on what you need, what you're trying to manifest, what you are wanting to experience. Write them down and repeat them to yourself over and over throughout your day, and you will see that you actually create the reality of what the affirmation is holding. Other examples of affirmations are, I am love, I am peace, I am a powerful manifester, I am boundless and limitless in my success, I am a loving being worthy of love. There's the little piece on affirmation. Another idea to connect with your spirit is using prayer. Prayer is your conversation with divine, with God, with whatever you call it. Prayer is powerful. They have studies on prayer that show that when people with illness are prayed for, even by unknown people across the world, there is a shift towards wellness. I'm not making this up, the data is there, so we know that prayer works. Use it. Use it to connect with God. Use it to connect with divine energy. Prayer can be about making requests, but it can also be about giving thanks. It can also be about acknowledging the things in your life that are gifts for you, whether they are challenging or not. They are gifts for you. So this can be a conversation that you open up and maintain with divine love, with our Creator that supports you in your journey. And I think what you will find, it's interesting. I went on a walk with a friend this morning who is studying to be a rabbi. And she was telling me about a prayer that one of her teachers had sent to her entire rabbinic class, outlining, I guess it was a very specific prayer and a very specific way of doing it that this instructor provided to them. And she said, well, it only took 10 minutes. So I thought, well, I can do that. I can do anything for 10 minutes each day. So she began this process of this particular prayer every single day. And she said, a day I took off from doing it. I just didn't do it on one particular day because it was busy or I forgot or I got distracted. And she said, and I noticed it the entire day. My whole day felt different, felt off kilter. I didn't feel as connected, because that is how powerful prayer can be and how the ritual of prayer can serve you. So I talked briefly about having gratitude in your prayer as well as it just being a request for what you're seeking. More so, or in addition to making it full of gratitude, what you're offering up in your conversation with the Creator. And so one thing that I love is, again, back to Abraham Hicks channelings. One thing that Esther Hicks does is she does what's called a gratitude rampage. And I love listening to these because each time she says a little something different, but it all is what she's grateful for at that time in her life. And you can imagine the word rampage, what that's about. She just goes on and on and on and on a literal rampage about what she is grateful for. And this is something I want to challenge you with, because you can do this. I have done it, and it is great fun. And it is, again, something else guaranteed to raise your vibration. You cannot be in a horrible mood or feel flattened by what's going on around you after doing, or while you're doing, a gratitude rampage. So I'm going to give you a little sense for what that might look like, and I am not prepared for this. I'm prepared for it because I'm grateful, but I'm not going to be referring to my notes. So if you see me look skyward, it's just me accessing more things that I'm grateful for, but this is how a gratitude rampage might look. You go from specific to general, back to specific, in and out, anything goes. So here I go on my gratitude rampage. I am so grateful for my home. I'm grateful for the carpet in my home that is under my feet right now. It is soft. It smells like new carpet, even though it's not. It's at least several years old, but I'm grateful that I had the resources to be able to pick out this carpet, and the people at the carpet store who listened to what it was I was looking for and showed me a wide array. Who knew that so many carpets existed in this world? Soft ones, rough ones, thick ones, thin ones. I am grateful for carpet. It makes my feet feel warm when it's cool outside. It gives me a soft place to sit and play with my children. It allows a soft place for my dogs to lay down so that I can lay next to them and pet them and be comfortable. I'm so grateful for carpet. And on that note, I am so grateful for my bed sheets. They are comfortable and soft, and there's nothing like the feeling of laying down between clean bed sheets. I am so grateful to have that. I am grateful for the sunrise. There's nothing more beautiful or special than to be out in nature and see the sunrise, whether you're looking out over the ocean or over the mountains or just over rooftops in your neighborhood. That is something that I love, to see the sunrise and all the colors and the beauty and the possibilities and the potential that it brings. I am grateful for my dogs. My dogs have an energy, and so does every other animal, that brings me back to the knowledge that I am part of this earth with them, that we are sharing time and space on this earth plane together, that there is energy exchange flowing from me to them and back to me that is allowing me to be the best person that I can be, that is reminding me that the energy of animals is crucial and essential to my health and well-being. I am grateful for swimming pools. They are a place where my children can play and get out of the heat. They are a place where we can splash and have fun. They are a place where I can experience weightlessness. And who doesn't want to experience weightlessness? It is a magical flowing feeling that can instantly allow me to get back in flow with whatever it is that I am seeking. I am so grateful for the health of my family members. And for those of my family members that are struggling with health issues, because at any one time somebody is, I am so grateful that we have health insurance, that we have a way to see doctors, that we have professionals who are trained in supporting health and wellness and well-being, that we have Western medicine and Eastern practices and anything you can possibly imagine. All I need to do is get on the internet and research it and give myself some additional information so that I can make the best choices for myself, my health and well-being, and that of my family members as well. And to that end, I'm so grateful for the internet. There isn't enough time to talk about the benefits that has offered to us as an entire nation, as an entire world, for all cultures. I am grateful for the clothing that I'm wearing. This feels soft on me. It has a color that brings me enjoyment. It is something that I enjoy putting on and looking at as I see myself doing my video. I am grateful for hair on my head. I'm grateful that it is something that is for an adornment, but also is something that just gives me a sense of who I am. Just my hair color, just the way that I style it makes me feel good. I am grateful for the food that I have to eat, and the farmers that make it, and the transporters that bring it to me, and the connection that it is to the earth. I'm grateful for Mother Earth for producing the food. I am grateful for Divine that produces the necessary weather systems so the earth can be produced, so that we have rain, so that we have sunshine. That's an example of a gratitude rampage. I could keep going on and on and on. But in the interest of time, I'm going to cut it short there, but I encourage you, go on and on and on. There are so many things to be grateful for. Even if you are in financial times that are tight, even if you are struggling in 100 different areas, we all are, and we all do in some way. In some way or another, we all have our challenges. Find the things that you have to be grateful for and go on a rampage with them. It changes your vibration. I will be doing an additional video beyond this one because I don't want to go beyond the 30-minute mark. So I'm going to leave you with that gratitude rampage, and I'm going to challenge you to do one of your own. Bring it. Bring it on. Go all out. See how long you can rampage. Get your family members involved. Do it at the dinner table. Go round robin and everybody just continues to say what they are so grateful for. You'll see this is exactly what brings spirit in so quickly, so abundantly, raises our vibration, allows us to be the best person that we can possibly be. And this is the point. This is the point. Thank you. And when our next video comes up, I will be talking about more tools, more exercises to bring you closer to your spirit.